Welcome to Psychonaut, where we dive deep into the human mind. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever scrolled through social media, seen someone's vacation, their perfect relationship, or their recent success, and suddenly your life felt smaller, duller, or not quite enough? You were fine 5 minutes ago, but now there's a strange heaviness in your chest, a quiet voice whispering, "They're doing better than me." This feeling has a name. It's the pain of comparison. And today, we'll uncover why we fall into this trap, what it does to our minds, and how we can break free. Humans are social beings. From an evolutionary standpoint, comparing ourselves to others helped us survive. In ancient tribes, noticing who was stronger, more resourceful, or better connected gave us cues about how to fit in or how to improve. This instinct didn't disappear. But today, instead of comparing ourselves to 20 people in a village, we're comparing ourselves to thousands, if not millions, online. And it's not just people we know, it's influencers, celebrities, curated lives, and filtered moments that flood our perception. This is the foundation of social comparison theory, first proposed by psychologist Leon Festinger in 1954. It suggests that we evaluate ourselves in relation to others because we have an internal need to know how we're doing, whether we're competent, attractive, successful, or happy. But there's a twist. This comparison is rarely objective. We tend to compare upward, to those who appear better than us in some way. And that, right there, is where the pain begins. Upward comparison can sometimes motivate us. It can push us to grow, improve, and dream bigger. But more often than not, especially when self-esteem is low or we're already feeling vulnerable, it becomes toxic. Seeing someone else's success can make us feel like failures, not because we've done something wrong, but because we're measuring our worth with their ruler. Even worse, we forget that we're comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Their smile in the photo doesn't show the fight they had the night before. Their luxury vacation doesn't show the debt or the emotional void. But we don't see those things. We just see the glossy surface, and suddenly, our own lives feel inadequate. When our happiness depends on being better than, we enter a race that has no finish line. There will always be someone with more success, more beauty, more followers, more love. The constant comparison creates a psychological state of chronic dissatisfaction. No matter what we achieve, it doesn't feel enough because someone always seems to have more. This leads to a dangerous loop. We compare, feel inferior, try to improve or curate our own lives, then compare again. And the worst part? We begin to internalize the belief that we are fundamentally less than, less worthy, less lovable, less capable. Over time, this damages our self-esteem, our motivation, and our ability to experience authentic joy. Social media isn't the cause of comparison, but it magnifies it like never before. Every scroll is a silent competition. Every like becomes a currency of self-worth. Platforms are designed to trigger social comparison, algorithmically feeding us content that makes us react emotionally, often with envy or inadequacy. Psychologists have found that the more time we spend on social media, the more likely we are to experience symptoms of depression, anxiety, and loneliness. Because we're not just seeing other people, we're seeing idealized versions of them. And the scariest part? Even when we know it's fake, it still affects us. Because comparison doesn't come from logic, it comes from emotion. There's a haunting paradox here. The more we chase happiness by comparing, the less we feel it. We believe that having what others have, success, love, beauty, will finally make us content. But happiness isn't a destination on someone else's map. It's an inner state, built through self-acceptance, connection, and purpose. When we define happiness through external benchmarks, it becomes fragile, constantly shifting with every new trend, every new success story, every new post. We don't just want to be happy. We want to be happier than, and that's where happiness begins to die. So how do we protect our mental well-being in a world that constantly invites us to compare? Here are some psychological tools that can help. Practice self-awareness. Start noticing when you're comparing. Pause and ask, what am I feeling right now? What need is being triggered? Is this comparison helpful or harmful? Awareness is the first step to change. Curate your environment. If certain platforms or people constantly trigger self-doubt, it's okay to unfollow, mute, or take a break. Your peace matters more than their feed. Focus on values, not validation. What matters to you, not what's trending, not what others are chasing. Real happiness comes from alignment with your values, whether that's creativity, connection, learning, or kindness. Practice gratitude, intentionally. Comparison shrinks our vision. Gratitude expands it. Each day, write down 3 things you're genuinely grateful for, not because they're better than someone else's, but because they are yours. Celebrate, don't compete. Other people's success is not your failure. Try shifting from comparison to inspiration, from envy to empathy. Let their light remind you that yours can shine too. Let this truth settle into your bones. You are not behind. You are not less. You are not broken. Your journey doesn't have to look like anyone else's to be worthy. You don't need to be more successful or more likable to matter. You already do. Happiness is not something you find by measuring yourself against others. It's something you build within yourself, for yourself. And the moment you stop comparing, you start living. If this message resonated with you, if you've ever felt trapped in the cycle of comparison and longed to feel truly enough, know that you're not alone. And if you'd like more deep dives into the hidden corners of the mind, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Psychonaut, and turn on notifications so you never miss a journey into the human psyche. Because healing begins with understanding, and you deserve both.